name is Dawn Yargeau. I'm from the Office of Admissions. Ms. Kruger wanted to join you today, but unfortunately she was not able to, and she has provided a slide deck which we will be showing you. And right now I have Dr. Deandra Matthews on this call as well. We're hoping that Dr. Rick Baker and Dr. Eric Ayers will be able to join in, but they will join in and we will let you know when they sign on. So we're here today to talk about the NMF scholarship. It is the National Medical Fellowship Scholarship, and we wanted to talk to you about an overview of the scholarship, basics of the application, the essays, and letters of recommendation. So the National Medical Fellowship Scholarships. Dr. Richard Baker, Vice Dean of Medical Education, is an NMF National Alumni Council member. The National Medical Fellowship's vision is to empower and support aspiring physicians and health professionals underrepresented in medicine to contribute to the health of our nation. The NMF recognizes merit as well as financial need. They have specific scholarships for those who are underrepresented in medicine. The NMF requires you to complete a 6-step eligibility profile before you can complete any scholarship applications. We will provide the link for that for you. A full list of the scholarships and award is listed here, and we will provide that to you. It's very important that you review the general eligibility criteria before you fill out any applications. Next, you want to navigate to the specific scholarships you are interested in applying to. Please read thoroughly the scholarship descriptions. We're going to have an example here, but you're going to dissect the description by looking at the name of the scholarship, determining whether it is need or merit-based, the amount of the scholarship, any of the eligibility criteria, whether it is renewable or non-renewable, what the deadlines are, and a link to the application. So as you can see by this example, the Aspiring Physicians Endowed Scholarship, it was established in 2020 by NMF alumni Dr. Felicia Williams in memory of her father, Mr. Willie James Williams. This is a need-based $5,000 scholarship, and it will be awarded to an African-American medical student who meets the following eligibility criteria. Originally from Detroit, first generation in their family to go to college, enrolled in an accredited U.S. medical school for the 2020-21 academic year, has documented financial need, and has demonstrated an interest in pediatrics. So there will be one of the eligibility criteria that you must be able to identify. The scholarship may be renewed, provided that the student remains in good standing. The application opens on June 15th, and they're due at 11:59 p.m. on August 3rd, 2020. And this is how you will complete the eligibility. I can let you know that Dr. Richard Baker is now online. And so we will go ahead and just move through the rest of these slides. There are not that many. And then we'll let Dr. Baker and Dr. Matthews talk to you. Parts of an application. Many of the applications require a combination or a total of 3 parts: basic demographic information, essays, and letters of recommendation. For the essays, some basic tips that you'll want to think about is we strongly recommend that you use spell check to check for spelling and Grammarly to check for grammar. Take the time to set up these tools properly so they are working effectively. It looks like I have a typo here, which is kind of cute considering we're talking about essays. I see that Grammarly is only got a little part of itself. And how to do word count. One of the things that I can suggest to you, reading an awful lot of personal statements and materials from AMCAS, is that if you're cutting and pasting something, please double check that all of the funny little characters do not insert itself in your essay before you send it in. Review the essay prompt. Make sure your essay is tailored to the scholarship goal. For example, with pediatrics, make sure you talk about how you've learned why pediatrics is important to you and why you anticipate going into that field. We recommend copying and pasting the essay prompt and the top of a Word document so you can reference it as you're writing the essay to make sure you are responding to all parts of the prompt. Think about what you're going to write and organize, and begin the process by writing an outline. Does the essay tell the reader, whoops, sorry about that, I took a second too long. Does your essay tell the reader about you, the student? Does it tell the reader about your impact on others? Is it interesting, boring? Does it tell a story with specific examples and anecdotes? Dr. Matthews, if you want to catch this slide.
Certainly. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is DeAndrea Matthews, and I serve as the Director of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion at the School of Medicine. So for your scholarship essays, we're providing support in that if you would like to have your essay reviewed and get some feedback before you actually submit it, you can reach out to Dr. Jason Brooks, who's the University Counselor in the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, and his email is on the screen for you, and that's jrbrooks@med.wayne.edu. As a reminder, you want to give yourself enough time to get feedback on your essay, incorporate any recommendations before the deadline. So Dr. Brooks is available for you, but make sure you reach out to him if you want to get that feedback on your essay, and plenty of time to still submit it by the deadline.
And for any of the students who are on here, please feel free to use the question and answer link on this Zoom account, and we'll be sure to try to answer all of those for you. As far as letters of recommendation, to request a letter of recommendation, you want to fill out this form. It will be sent to you. Make sure you give the letter writer advance notice and communicate the scholarship deadline. Do not wait until the last minute to make a request. Provide the letter writer with a description of the scholarship, a copy of your bio or your CV, along with your resume, and 3 descriptors of yourself. And before you submit your final essay review, you want to make sure, again, to see the Office of Diversity and Inclusion, Dr. Brooks, and we've listed the emails of the Office of Diversity and Inclusion and Enrollment Management Services. Ms. Fallon Lindsay is available to help you. Now we would like Dr. Baker to say a few words.
Okay, so thank you. Can you guys hear me? I go
Yes.
in and out now. If you can hear me, thank you, Don and Dr. Matthews and others on this line, and thank you for the students for participating. I consider this an important part of your professional development, and I consider this one of our responsibilities in terms of helping you take advantage of opportunities. Now, I would direct you to the NMF National Medical Fellowship website, because they're both national and local opportunities. We have specific opportunities for students in Michigan. They're also national opportunities. Now, I would say to the people on this, the students, and again, I welcome questions, going forward either now or later. But again, this is going to be developing an application, even if you're not successful, will be extremely important. Extremely important. Because again, as part of your professional development, because this allows you to put together the pieces that you will need to present yourself for your residency program, for other opportunities in terms of scholarships and fellowships, and particularly for fellowships going forward. So learning how to do this is very important. Also, it gives you an opportunity for self-assessment. In my position, I get to see all of the applications that go out. I mean, a wide variety of applications, a wide variety of students that actually apply for different fellowships and for different scholarships. And I can say that this is an opportunity that's underutilized by most of our underrepresented minorities, which is a shame, particularly given the fact that there's special scholarships that are very focused on that group. In terms of putting things together, and again, I think we'll get good and much better at it in terms of us providing you with resources. But I think I've actually been given by National Medical Fellowship some examples of exemplary applications. So I think that's something that we might be able to provide. Information is redacted. I don't know if I can distribute it broadly. We might have to distribute it or just allow you to look at it online. I don't know. I'm going to have to ask. But again, the opportunity to actually do a self-assessment and to actually understand, I don't know where most of the people online are in terms of students, where they are in their trajectory. But again, the opportunity to build your application, just as you build your application in terms of getting into medical school, the opportunity to build your application while in medical school and to actually compare yourself to others in terms of what they are doing so that you can understand some of the things that you might pursue, opportunities that you might pursue in order to get the optimal application. Again, I would welcome, again, this is going to be a process. We're developing resources to hopefully make everyone on this call and others more successful. Again, and hopefully we'll be better at it by next year, right? But again, we want that to be part of the value proposition of coming to this institution. Again, any questions?
I do know that there was one question out there that I don't know all the logistics behind it. It has to do with reviewing the letter of recommendation process. You will need to request letters of recommendation from faculty and people who know you. Dr. Baker, do you have any thoughts on who they might ask or the types of letters they should be getting?
Yes, so sometimes that's actually dictated by the scholarship or the fellowship or whatever they specifically ask. Sometimes it's specifically dean of students. Sometimes it can be other individuals. Sometimes it's myself. But they're various administrators within the institution. Dean Smitherman, others. But again, it doesn't have to be. What's more important is that individual actually knows you and works with you and can provide a positive letter for you. And that's a, so don't get caught in the trap of trying to get a letter from a person with an impressive title or in a person that may be very, very well known, whether it's, academically or from a research perspective. What's important is to get a letter from someone that will be supportive of you and that has worked with you, so that can give an authentic letter going forward. Again, what that requires is that you actually work with people in order to generate that relationship. So again, even now, this might be an opportunity for you to start to think about how you will now set up future, scholarship opportunities. Again, thinking about even if you don't have that letter, again, ask people today. Even if you don't have the letter that you really want today, start to think about what you need to do in order to get that letter. Not today, 3 months from now, or 6, because you'll need a letter. You'll need that letter, you need that support, you'll need those relationships developed. So even if it's not good for today, you need to think of tomorrow.
So someone has asked to pull this slide up again, which we're doing, to request a letter of recommendation, fill out this form. I don't, Kaylee, does this form, can you show us where it goes? I'm not sure, somebody else is driving this, so I was hoping that we could see the form. It's a little hard when we share screen. Okay, so it is going to a Formie, and we're hoping that this will help you to give to your letter writers. So for example, if it was Dr. Baker or Dr. Smitherman, that if you do this, we can provide this information so you don't have to continually update it, and then they're going to help track this form for you. This was just one of the resources that we tried to put in place for you to make it easier to connect, particularly since we're virtual as opposed to in person, and you can't just go to the school and pick up, you know, and meet with someone. I hope this answers your questions. If not, please make sure that you put it in the Q&A, and we'll try to really make sure that we cover it for you.
And again, at this particular level, I mean, everybody did a lot to get in here. And I want you guys, again, I get the opportunity to look at letters side by side. So a letter, not a letter, but an application that might look great on its own, when you compare it to others, not so great. And what you really want to focus on is articulating your leadership, not just participation in things, but what you've done that's actually exceptional or special. And if you haven't done anything that's exceptional, you've done good things. I mean, you still articulate things that you've done, but I would think moving forward, what is it that you could do that would actually differentiate yourself from others in terms of your commitment, in terms of your performance, and all of those things. So again, part of this is kind of, this is a first step, but part of this is dedicating yourself to developing the best application you can to demonstrate who you are going forward. And again, it's going to be a continual process.
Does anyone else, Dr. Matthews, or any of the students, if there's anything else you want to cover, we will be sending this out. I believe that we've tried to provide a number of resources. If there are more that you need, for example, you know, whether or not you're trying to reach the Office of Diversity, the Office of Enrollment Management, Dr. Baker's office, please don't hesitate to reach out to us and let us know what you need and what you're looking for, because our goal is to be as helpful as possible to help you put this all together. Even if it's a small amount of a scholarship, it's a small amount that you don't have to pay later on. And so I think any help that you can get at this point is going to be very helpful.
Yes, and it's not just, the money is important, always the money is important, but it's not just about the money, it's about what you are able to put on your CV. And with respect to NMF, it's about the fellowship you then now become part of. Because there are many NMF scholars, several of the Surgeon Generals are scholars, many of the deans are scholars. It's a great community to be part of. Again, I'm going to try to figure out a way to share some of the letters, example letters, with both diversity and maybe it'll be through diversity, maybe through enrollment management. Dr. Ayers is now on. He always has something to say.
I just signed on. Where are we?
We gave you all the work. You have at least 6 recommendation letters to write.
Oh, okay. I got a year to write them. I'll help out whatever way I can.
So Dr. Ayers, we pretty much went through the slides that Ms. Kruger had provided. And at this point, you know, any words of wisdom, anything that you want the students to know about applying for these scholarships? Oh, I think he might be frozen in time.
You started writing the letters. So Dr. Matthews, I'm going to see if I can get some of the letters. Should I give them to you or to Jason?
You can forward them directly to Jason. However, anyone that sends them to me, I will definitely bring them to his attention. He is our point person for reviewing the letters of, or reviewing the scholarship essays and providing feedback to the students.
Okay.
My only other reminder is that even though we are still working remotely, remember that you want to take into consideration the business days. So Monday through Friday, if you send it on a Friday evening, then of course you still want to provide time for your reviewer to review it and get back with you. So just keep those business days in mind as we continue to work remotely. Thank you so much.
Okay. Sounds good.
So I'm not sure that Dr. Ayers is going to make it back on here. Anyone that needs to get in touch with Dr. Ayers to ask him any questions, you can certainly send him an email. And if you don't have access to that, then please feel free to email mdadmissions@wayne.edu and I will make sure that he gets your email.
Great.
I don't see any more questions coming in. You do know how to contact us, so please feel free to let us know if anything comes up.
Great. All right.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.